Hello everyone, welcome to my live. So you have to excuse me, I've got very hot in New Zealand. It's, I don't know, feels like 30 degrees, but we do have a wind. Anyway, I thought I'd pop on live again. I'm trying my YouTube channel to do lives. I'm in my craft space garage where I do all my creating. And something's flashing at me, which means it's sound. So maybe I need to do something. Okay. How is that? So obviously you didn't hear any of that, perhaps. So welcome, my name is Kaz Hurst. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from the North Waikato in the North Island of New Zealand. Today I've got 3 cards to show you. And I'm going to take my time. It's quite warm here, and yeah, so I'm going to flip my camera around. Hopefully this works, and thank you for watching the replay, for those of you that are here watching the replay, and for those that are going to come on live. I would be really happy if you put some comments in. That will help my YouTube algorithms. Anyway, I'm going to show a card that I made in a class. So maybe let's hold this one up. So we're going to do this card today. That's backwards. Oh, that's not going to be helpful if it's all backwards. I've got another card from that I'm going to show you. I'm just using new products. And something just fell on the floor that I'm going to need. So I'm going to find that when I turn the camera. And the last card, if we've got time, is this one. Using the celebration papers. And yeah. And I noticed that's all upside down. So anyway, I'm going to turn the camera. I'm going to turn it up to the ceiling first. Here we go. So you can see my ceiling, and then I'm going to turn it round. Here we go. Now I'm going to move some things out the way. Got everything on my table, and let's move this down a bit. There we go. And what I'm going to do is take that up a bit so you can see more. Oh, sorry, jiggling and squiggling. That looks good. And then we get it straight. Woohoo! So I'm just picking that piece off the floor. There we go. So now what I need to do is turn my computer on so I can see myself live and answer any questions. So how is everybody today? It's hot, eh? If you're in New Zealand, hopefully the weather in England isn't too bad. So I need to change. Oh, thank you, new subscribers. Brilliant. Here we go. Brilliant. And turn my volume off. Okay, I can see myself. Oh, Trish, hi Trish. Yay, you made it. Awesome. So I'm going to breathe. I'm going to move things out of the way. That still looks crooked. Let's try moving this. Aha, there we go. Right. So I'm going to crack off with this card. So this is using the Share a Milkshake. This is in the annual catalogue. And it's also using the of Art and Texture, which is now available on in the online exclusive store, and I'm going to use one of the stamps out of that. We've got quite a bit of cutting to do, so I've put all the things I'll need to cut here, and I'm going to bring in my mini for that. So the first thing we need to do is do some stamping. Now I've gone on slow on my computer, but my phone seems to be working. Hello. See, there's a few people. So let's get some stamping done. So I've punched out some vellum pieces using different punches that I've got. If you haven't got the punches in the sizes, just use your circle dies. And these 2 pieces I'm going to cut out the mesh with. So that's this. Could have cut that earlier, but that's okay. We'll bring in that. This piece I'm going to stamp my texture on first. So I've already got my stamp. This is crushed curry, and I'm going to stamp with crushed curry. Just going to refresh my computer to see if that helps. Here we go, that's better. Now with this texture in the background, I'm just going to stamp on and stamp off. Stamp on and stamp off, just randomly around. This is like the texture you get on the homemade cones that they make. And I want to make sure that I've got plenty around the edges because most of the middle will be covered with different pieces of the cone and the ice cream. So that's that done. I've got my chamois here, and because our inks are water based, this is just a chamois with water, and you can get these from Stampin' Up and it just cleans your stamps off. So what I'm going to do is cue my stamps over there. I won't clean every one, otherwise we'll be here forever. So I'm going to now stamp my different pieces. So I'm going to take the glass jar, and we've got a detail and we've got the background. I find if I do the detail first, it works better. So we want full strength for the glass, and what I've done is I've put my stamping mat underneath. So as you can see, that's full strength. Then what I'm going to do is take up the same colour, and this colour is Tahitian Tide. Now if you do want to get your Tahitian Tide sorted before the annual catalogue retires in end of April, you might need to get in now, because once the retirement is announced, colours sell out really quickly. What I'm doing is I'm lining up that top corner, and there we go. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to put that colour away because we don't need that again, and then I'm going to take the Calypso Coral and I'm going to stamp myself 2 bits of ice cream, and I'm going to do one with full colour and the other one with stamp off. So that's called Second Generation. I'm then going to take my Gorgeous Grape, and again we've got a pot with detail and without detail, so I'm going to do the detail first. Some say it's better to stamp with your tongue poking out. Apparently it helps you stamp better. So with tongue poking out, head in camera, there we go. Pretty pleased with that. Then I'm going to take this one. What does this one do? Oh, this is for the ice cream for that one. So what I'm going to do is come back with my crushed curry. This is for the smaller cup to have ice cream in. And then I want to do my cone in the Gorgeous Grape. Not the cone, sorry. It's hot. I'm going to do my straw in the Gorgeous Grape. Now this is where the cutting begins. I'm going to use my mini cutting machine, and I'm also going to use my repositional tape. So this is removable tape by Scotch 3M. I think I got mine from oh, what's it called? Office Stationery, I think it's called. But I think you can get it online if you put in the 3M Scotch removable tape. This is better than washi. Washi I find is very, very sticky, and if you forget to take off some of that sticky on your trousers, then it tears the paper. So this you need to do carefully, and make sure everything is taped down, because you don't want it moving. And I'm going to need to cut this one out a second time because I've only got one of those. And the last one here is the straw. And also what I've got is these two that look like little clouds, but they are actually bits of ice cream to go on top. I use these magnetic sheets to keep all my dies nice and safe. So we're going to bring Bluey in. And I like to go through cutting with Bluey because the plates are laid out very differently. So I've got plate 1, I'm putting plate 2 on top and I'm bringing it backwards. And I'm going to place it down. Now, can you see that? I'll move that in a bit. Then I'm going to take my piece and put it on top. Then what I'm going to do is take the second plate and put it level with the first plate. So you get this C shorter shape. Put it in and all of a sudden you'll find that it goes really easily through. If it won't go through, it's because you haven't layered it in the correct way. Also, if your machine is conditioned that the ball bearings in there are quite tight, you can replace plate 1 with plate 2. And plate 2 is a little bit thinner, and sometimes you need to do that for a while. So I'm going to put my pieces to the side. And as you can see, the tear and tape doesn't take off any paper. Put my pieces to the side and putting my dies straight back on that magnetic sheet so I don't lose them. Oh, thanks Trish, you like the bright colours. And was I a bit out of screen? If things won't come out of the dies, I get my Take Your Pick tool, which has a pokey end on it, and I will poke them out. See, this one just dropped on. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that all over again. Put my plate 1, plate 2 back a bit. Take this one, and I've got a bit of tape here, and put that on. You just take your time with this process. I know I'm on camera. I've done most of the cutting on the other cards, and I'm actually going to put these pieces back in just in case I need a bit extra. I'm putting plate 2 at the same place as plate 1. Holding that together because I didn't put any tape in. Bringing Bluey back, pop him in, and you'll find that that goes in pretty easily. I'm trying to hold this down so that the things don't move. Oh, sorry about the wobbles. My table wobbles, sorry. And there we go. And that's all the die cutting we need for the ice cream. And now I just need to cut the pieces of detail on the back. So what's everybody been up to? Are you in, where are you, can you tell me where you're watching from? Have you watched me before? I'm quite new to YouTube. I have been doing videos for a while, but not consistently. And I was trying to do Facebook lives, but it just wasn't working for me. So I decided to come on YouTube and then just share the link after the live. So let me know where you're from, and if you like Stampin' Up products, or do you like other sort of products? Have you got one of these mini machines that lives on a desk? So this is why you do need your Take the Pick tool, because these things don't come out very easily. And then you've got all these tiny little pieces, which I'm going to pop over here out of camera. I know we're sort of in camera. See how easy that cuts? That's 1 that's just gone through once. It's not gone backwards and forwards like some machines you need to. With some dies you have to go backwards and forwards to get fine detail to cut. But that's a mini machine going through once, and that took everything out. And now this is my last one. Oh, they're wobbling. Sorry about the wobble. Put that away now because we don't need it. And take that piece out. So again, I'm just going to push this out with my take pick tool. You have these little holes which you poke through to get it out, and then I'm just putting all these pieces. So if you did a shaker card, you could use that as mesh, and you'd have all little nice bits to go inside your shaker card. I actually give my scraps and things like this, save them in a box, and then they go to the local kindergarten. They absolutely love it. They get all these bits and pieces. Right, let's pop this out the way. So I think I'm going to do my embossing next, and then it's just a straightforward putting it together. So this banner and this circle for the card has been taken from the Stylish Shape dies. You get squares, circles, and these banners, which are really cool. So I've used those. And the Celebrate, it comes from the Share the Milkshake. Right, so this is my tool, which I absolutely love. Keeps everything together. So I'm taking my embossing buddy and I'm going to go over that. What I recommend is if you're not, if you want things to be straight or perfect, maybe don't cut out your banner until you've stamped. Sometimes things will go crooked, but you can level it up by cutting it straight. This is my Versamark, which is like a gluey ink. Excuse my head. And I've put my Celebrate in the middle. So now what I'm going to do is take all this out. I've got my white embossing powder, the tray, these are Teflon ends so they don't burn, and this is a fine brush for cleaning up, and the embossing buddy are all sold in the annual catalogue, and it's great. If you didn't like embossing before because you made a mess or you couldn't quite get it to work properly, this is the way to go. Happy with that. So I'm going to pop this out of the way. Oh no, what I might do before I do that is show you how helpful this tool is. You take your pot and put it under. You're then going to tap it back in. And the little brush here is anti-static, so you can use it to clean up your stamping, or you can use it to pop all that bits and pieces away. Put your end on. And I believe Stampin'Up used to do these in the past, and they brought them back because they're so useful. And lots of other companies are bringing them back. So hopefully the sound will change. It will be a little bit loud for a minute, but what I'm going to do is warm up my heat embossing tool. It's much better if you warm it up a bit first. Oh, hi Trish. Oh yeah, you're just up the road from me, eh? Jury. Sort of Auckland. And then this is my favourite part. Now I'm not sure if you can see it, but it will change. There we go. There it goes. So it goes from a pale to a dark white. And what you do is just look and move it around, and if you get that nice shine, you know it's done. And there we have it. Oops, put those keys away. My desk is going to look really like a bomb site soon. Okay, Okay, so we are now ready to assemble the card. So there's quite a few pieces to the card, quite a few layers, but I think it's a really nice card. So we've got half of an A4 cardstock. This is Gorgeous Grape, folded in half. I take my bone folder and I crease it. We've got a piece in the inside that measures 10 by 14.4. And I'm just going to take my glue. The glue is actually the most economical way to put things in if you want to be able to reposition them. Whereas the tear and tape is the most economical glue, but if you feel like you can't get things straight, it's not the best way to go. So I put my layer inside. You can write in there, you can put another stamp in there, or do whatever you want in there. You could take the stamps in the stamp set, actually stamp another ice cream inside. I'm putting a white layer on top, which is the same size, 10 centimeters by 14.4. This then becomes 9.5 by 13.9. And I'm going to place that one on top. And this colour is Crushed Curry. And I've used the crushed curry ink on the top. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to place my vellum dots on, because what I want to do is I want to find where they're going to go, because you will be able to see glue through them. So what you want to do is to find where they're going and where things will be hidden. So I can see that this one will need a gem, this one will need a gem, but these two, the dot can be hidden behind there. So I'm going to take a glue dot, pop a glue dot on each bottom, like so. I'm actually going to swap these around, and I'm going to put that one there, and then I'm going to put this one in here, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to put my glue dot on it, and I'm going to wait and see where I tuck it. Then I'm going to take my glue, just up the centre bits, because I want it to move about. So I'm going to place that in there. And I've got really messy. I'm just going to get a baby wipe from my table. Because this is going to get gluey. Hi, has someone else joined us? Do you want to say where you're watching from in the comments? That would be lovely to know. There we go. Just take that off. But welcome. Okay, so we're going to put some more glue on here, like so. And just pop that down as well. I'll take my baby wipe so I don't get glue on me. There we go. So now what we're doing is we're going to use dimensionals to raise this white circle where the ice cream cones are going to go. And you can use your take the pick tool if you have trouble getting the backings off your dimensionals. Oops. And I'm going to place that there. So now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to pop it underneath there. So now you can't see that dot. And then this one, this last one, will have a gem on it to just hide that dot. Okay. Now to assemble our little bits and pieces. So I just put a bit of glue on the top of my little ice cream glass, and I'm going to take my full colour. There we go. And can you see the slit there? That is for your straw. And then once that's in, I'm going to take a little bit more glue there and pop on my other layer of ice cream, covering the slit. And then on the very top, I'm going to put some cream. Oh, I think that needs to go over a bit more. There we go. And my straw is moving a bit, so what I'm going to do with that is turn it over. I've got sticky fingers now from that. And I'm going to take a dimensional and pop the dimensional on there to hold it in place. I'm going to put this on here, and then it's going to direct where I'm going to put my dimensionals, because I want to be able to glue it and adhere it to my circle. So there's our first ice cream cone. Now we're going to do the same for this one. So we're going to put a tiny bit of glue on there. And I'm going to take those tweezers I had. Where did I put them? Here. I'm going to take the tweezers to see if that will help with the glue situation. There we go. And then I'm going to put a little bit of cream on top of my ice cream. Actually, you know what might work better is take my take your pick tool out and pop that on top, like so. There we go. Then a couple of dimensionals on the back of that. And pop that one in there. I might bring that up a bit more because I'm going to put the sentiment in. Oh, maybe not. That's stuck really fast. Then I'm going to take my sentiment and put some dimensionals on one side, because I'm going to pop it. I'm actually going to pop it down here. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to change it up. So here we go. Take my dimensionals off and pop that down here. Okay, so now the bling, which was in the bag, and the bag is no longer here. I've lost it, which means I haven't lost it, it's probably here somewhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to find these gems that I've used on the original card. They look like, not those, this is my stash of gems. I think, oh, here we go. So these are the retired now red green adhesive backed pearls. Now, if you're like me and you've got retired products, use them. You know, we all go and buy them. So I've put a pearl over there, just cover that glue dot, and I've made a little triangle. But I think I'm going to put some more because this one's got 5 on it. So I'm thinking I might make a little triangle there, and maybe add one over here. There we go. So those are the red and green adhesive backed. So always use up gems that you've got, even if they're retired. Stamping Up, I'm sure, will bring out more of these gems. In fact, actually, I don't think these are retired. I think they're from the annual catalogue. Let me just check, because if they are in the annual catalogue, you can still get them. And I would highly recommend getting those before they do retire. So let's have a look. So, Festive Pearls, page 140. They're in the catalogue still. Really versatile because you've got red, blue, silver and gold. They'll go with anything, and they are quite bright and shiny. So let's put the lid on that glue. Move some things. So what do you think? the ice cream cone set. You can move your little thing around. There we go. Great set. Great fun. So that's the first card done. I'm just going to move things over a bit. So this is how I do my card classes. I have 2 classes a month. I do an all-day craft class on a Saturday in Takofta. You can come and do your own crafting, or you can make the kits that I have. So I have kits available in a box like this with everything laid out and an envelope, and so you can make all your own things. So I think that's the next card we're making. And then what I do is I come online with any kits that are left. So I've had a kit left in this one, and I'm going to show you what we did. And we are using the Perennial Postage, which is in the new mini catalogue. And these are the dies, which I absolutely love. You can make all sorts of shapes with these, because if you know how to put them in and out of your embosser, you can make squares and circles. And then we're using this new punch, which I can't remember what it's called, so I'm going to look that up. And it's in the new mini catalogue, and it's a bit like one we've had before that was quite a bit more pointed. And I did, if you go to my blog, I've made a scrapbook layout using this punch. So I'm just going to look up what it is. It's called the Heartfelt Hexagon, and it's 47 New Zealand dollars, 39 Australian dollars, page 12. So they've used that here. So there's actually a stamp set to go with it. I often buy things that aren't in bundles. I will buy paper, designer series paper, and I will mix and match it. I will buy punches and mix and match them. I don't have unlimited resources, so I have to be quite creative about how I buy. And so, for instance, I bought the Perennial Lavender paper, which was on my last slide, and I didn't buy any of the sweet. I just mixed it with some other things. So we've got the punch, and I've got the dies out that I'm going to be using, although I've already prepared that. We're using Orchid Oasis. What I might do is turn my paper over so you don't see any more ice creams. How's that? Nice and clean. And I've done most of the work in this one. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've cut the Perennial Lavender paper again, like I said. I'm using it different ways. And I've got some of the Orchid Oasis gems. I'm using this ribbon, which is called, again, does anybody else have that problem where they can't remember what things are called? Especially when they're in the annual catalogue that came out last year. Thank you, Trish. Yes, thank you. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, here we go. So this is called Natural Wavy Trim, and it's in the annual catalogue. Earth and Elegance Sweet. So again, I'm mixing and matching sweets. So I've Perennial Lavender Sweet. This is from the Elegant Earth Suite. I'm using Orchid Oasis cardstock, a punch from the new catalogue, and a stamp set and dies from the new catalogue, Perennial Postage. So let's go ahead and make this card. So this is half an A4 cardstock, folded in half again and then folded. We've got a piece that measures 10 by 14.4, which goes on the inside. I'm going to use glue for that so I can move it around. Not very good at those straight lines. There we go. And then what I've done with this is I've taken a piece of cardstock which measured 10.5 by 14.4. I've taken the die, the largest die from the postage stamps, and at the same time as going through the cut machine, I've added this. Now there's a butterfly on it, so you want to make sure it's the right way up. I've popped this on here like this, and I've put it through the cutting machine at the same time. So this has cut the paper out, And this has embossed the paper. Can you see there's a postage stamp there? So I think that was really pretty. Before I stick that down, I must remember to put that on. So what I'm going to do now is design how I'm going to put these on. So you can do this anyway. I think I might put that one down there. I might put that one there. Maybe that one up there. So we're just showcasing this paper and we're just popping on each piece where you want it. So you can glue these directly down or you can emboss them. So on the card I had to show you, which is going I've actually glued them down and then I've actually put the whole sheet on dimensionals. I'm also going to take a blue blender pen. So this is a blue blender pen. I don't know what colour's on it, but it's blue, so it will work. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently just go over that with the ink that's on there, that postage mark. And then I'll just go round. There's not much ink on here. I think I must have cleaned this one off, but it's enough to just, see there's a little bit there. It's enough just to highlight that. So you don't need to apply more ink. If this was a clean one, I'd use the ink, the Orchid Oasis. So now I'm going to place these down. See how that gives me some wriggle room with that ink, that glue? I love this paper. I've almost used all of it. Used it for all sorts of things. Loved it so much. And it's, you know, it's hard to decide sometimes what you want on which side. And I've got one piece left, which I'm actually going to put inside the card. It's got a nice butterfly on that one. I haven't got the paper to show you because I've got literally two pieces left of it. But look at that butterfly, isn't it beautiful? And the whole paper's like that. It's really nice. So before I put this on dimensionals, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tear and tape, turn it over, and I'm going to put two little strips of tear and tape next to this gap here. So I put one on here and one on here. I take my tape pick tool and I just take the top off. See how easy that comes off? If you haven't got nails, it doesn't work. I'm going to take my shortest piece and I'm going to pop that across the middle there. I'm actually going to lay it this way. There we go. And what I do when I'm putting things on dimensionals and not gluing it down, I just put another piece of tape on top. And that makes sure that that does not come off in the post or when someone opens the card. The last thing you want is for it to come off. Then we want plenty of dimensionals so we get that nice height. Our dimensionals are $9 New Zealand dollars a pack, and you get 3 packets in 3 sheets in a pack. So I don't scrimp on my dimensionals. I think they're really reasonably priced. You can go and get cheaper strips, but I find the cheaper ones, when you have to cut them into size and then all the ink gets on your scissors. I know this because I've tried it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this second piece. I'm just literally going to make a knot. So I just tie it once and then make a knot. There we go. Now again, in my envelope there is no bling. Oh, there's the bling. I did show you the bling. But first we need to do a stamp. Now this is a rubber stamp. I've cut around the edges because at the moment I seem to be making little halos. So if you take a pair of scissors that you only use for your rubber stamps, because you will get a little bit of glue on them from the rubber, just cut around the edge, but do it without cutting the bottom rubber piece. Maybe if I've got one to cut, I'll demonstrate. So with Mother's Day coming up in the UK, I thought I'd make some Mother's Day cards. Our Mother's Day here in New Zealand is actually in May. So yeah. There we go. I'm just going to clean that off because it's got quite a lot of ink on it. And again, I'm going to put my sentiment on dimensionals, but you see I'm going to put it over that ribbon. It's not ribbon, it's like linen thread. So what I do, rather than put the dimensionals on the back, I actually put them where I want the sentiment to be. Again, I'll show you that this is quite an easy way to take off your dimensionals, and then you can place it. Now I'm going to bring it down so we can still see this, and then I'm thinking I might put an extra dimensional then on this bit here, and there you go. You've got them all in the right place. It doesn't wobble. And then let's place our bling in our triangle again. And there you go. What a quick and easy Mother's Day card. You're using the designer series paper. Looks pretty. Orchid Oasis is one of my favourite colours. And there we go. One more card done. So, and that was using the Perennial Postage. Now I'm going to put these things back in here. Again on my magnet sheets so I don't lose them. And also what I might do is put that happy, because I cleaned it, put that Happy Mother's Day back in there. And that is now perfectly safe. What do you think of that one? Would you be thinking about getting some perennial lavender paper? I think it's beautiful, especially if you like purples. Right, so this is the next one. Moving along, we're using the Celebration free paper. So when you spend 110 New Zealand dollars, you get the paper for free. So it's a pack of designer series paper. It's 12 by 12 and it has 12 sheets in it. There's other things that you can get on the Celebration. Now, Celebration finishes on the 29th of February. So you've got 7 days left to put an order in with your demonstrator in your country, your demonstrator in New Zealand, or you can put an order in with me. I'll put the link below in the comments when I've finished. But it's a really great time of year to be buying product because you do get quite a lot for free, and they've added to the free things. So everything's online. You can have a look. But I've got this kit here, and I've got to show you what we're using. Using lots of product on this one. Oh, I've got a bow tied there. That might be helpful. So we're using Misty Moonlight, a colour that was brought back this year. I love Misty Moonlight. We're using the Everyday Details stamp set and dies. These dies are amazing. This one in the middle here cuts out. It puts circles on what you've cut out. Can you see there? And then what comes out also gets circles on it. Like so. So this is a really nice piece to use on something else. And you get quite a lot of dies in this one. Let's have a look. You get the circles. And then this circle just cuts out for the sentiment, this small one here. And then you get the hexagons, you get this one and these two that emboss your paper. And then you get this one here for your sentiment again. So you get all those dies and the Everyday Details as a bundle. It's a really nice bundle. And I love anything that's sketch-like or can be coloured in. It's one of my faves. And then the leaves that you can see, I've used this die from the Gorgeously Made dies. So that's in the annual catalogue. I'm going to put that away because I've actually cut everything ready. So again, a great set. And then the embossing here has been done with this set. and the sentiment is the set. Now this is a free celebration product that is $220 New Zealand spent, and you get these two things for free: an embossing folder, which is a 3D thick one, and this beautiful two-step stamping. So you get these two plants, you get 3 beautiful sentiments, and it's a photopolymer, so you can see through it. So when you stamp your leaves, you can then put the flowers in. Beautiful set. So again, that is free for the next 7 days. Once it's once celebration finishes, it's gone. Okay, so I just saw my bling come out. That's good. These are I think they're the trios. So they're the new in colour design dots. So we've got a A4 cardstock cut in half and then folded in half and bone fold in Misty Moonlight. We've got a piece here to go on the inside. So I'm just going to glue that in. Again, a really quick and easy card. And I've used paper that I've got lots of. I've then gone ahead, and what I did was I die cut the circle out, and I've kept this smooth because I can use that on another card for a sentiment. Whereas if you emboss the paper first, this will be embossed. So I suggest you cut this out first and then emboss, so you can see that design on there. Can you see that? Yes, you can. So again, I'm making a card in a horizontal, and this goes here. Now you can see there's a gap there. So what I did was I took some tear and tape, put some at the top and the bottom, and I took the designer series paper, which is the free designer series paper, and I backed it just to give it a bit more detail. So you see you've got the watercolour, and then you've got these beautiful flowers with little birds, and I've just popped that on the back. And then I've taken my glue and I've popped that on my card like so. The thing that takes the longest on this card is the cutting of the birds. So let's do some fussy cutting. So fussy cutting is something you either love or you don't. I quite like it. I'm going to keep these, and what I'm doing is, rather than moving my scissors, I'm moving the paper. So what happens is, when you move the paper, you get a more accurate cut. I'm also leaving a little border. When you leave a little border, it just gives you that little bit of room to make error, because if you go a bit too close, you might have a tendency to cut the actual bird itself. And as you can see, that didn't take too long. I've left the little birdie in. Now the designer series paper actually has birds that go left and right. So what's really nice is you can cut a couple of birds out and they can be looking at each other, which is so sweet. Here we go. I think I'll be coming on live quite often on here. I actually like the setup on YouTube. I don't feel rushed. On Facebook, when I used to do it, I used to think, oh, I need to be finished in half an hour. But I feel like I can actually slow this down a bit, because actually, when, you know, I think when people are looking at YouTube, you can speed it up or slow it down. Please feel free to speed up watching. You don't have to watch me fussy cut. I've just remembered that I was going to put a piece inside here. So when you've got leftovers of designer series paper, what a great way to use them, by decorating the inside of your card. This paper is beautiful. There we go. And then, as I said, I cut out the leaves. And what I did with these leaves was I cut the bottom two off on one, like so. Where is it? There. I'll cut that. There we go. So I cut the bottom off one to go there. And then this one I actually cut a bit shorter, so I cut the bottom 2 layers off. And you just have to trim around the leaves that are connected. And there we go, like so. So I've got those 2 there, like that. And then what I did was I actually took these 2 here, just cut them off like that. And actually, I think I did, must have separated them. I separated them up, and then I just added a bit more leafage down here, and I've actually connected it with the end of that leaf. And the same with this one, I just connected it in. And I felt like that gave us enough. So let's take that one off and just put these down. Now I do have a fine tip glue adapter somewhere where you can dispense this glue into another container which has like a metal end to it. Just got to make sure and then you get the fine tip. But also I'm a bit hurrying putting this on. If I took my time, I'd probably get not as much glue on myself. There we go. So I'll just want to make sure I cover that one. There we are. Then I'm going to take the birds with my gluey fingers. Let's just... Baby wipes, great. Don't know if I'd want to use them on babies' bottoms these days, now that I know how much it takes off glue-wise. Just looking for my dimensionals. So I'm going to put the dimensionals on my birds. Again, you know, you want 2 good ones on here. And I'm going to place them in the branches. There's one. And then let's put him down there. Or it could be a her. There we go. Right. So now I need to do my sentiment. And I've got a photopolymer here, so I want to put my sponge underneath. It just gives you a better impression. And excuse my head. There we are. Love the font on this set. I'm going to miss it when it retires. So although I'll still use it in my private stash, lots of times I don't actually retire, give away, sell from my stash. Sometimes I keep, when the font is really nice, I'll keep it. So now we want to put dimensionals on the back of there. Pop it over there. Maybe straight. And the last thing to do is to put a ribbon on. And I've got one already made, which is great. So I'm going to use that. What I do with my ribbons is I take my ribbon to my glue dot and I pick up the glue dot with the ribbon. Where should I put it? I'm going to put it in there with the birds. And then I'm going to take my bling. Let's put one here. One here, and make that triangle again. There we go. And there you have it. A nice card. This one hasn't got a bow on it, so that's probably what that bow's for. Anyway, there we go. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make those cards. Let's just bring them back. So we have our Mother's Day card and our Hello Bear card. Our ice cream card. happy for you to case them, happy for you to do them in classes if you're a demonstrator. Please feel free to do that. I watch a lot of YouTube and I watch a lot of people making things. I usually case the catalogue and design my own cards. So yeah, so if you want to copy my cards, feel free. I was just straightening that up. And somehow things have gone askew. So let's... Can't get it straight. And we've got a lag. All right then, well, thank you so much for watching. For those of you that did come on, hope you have a good rest of your evening. Trish, thanks for watching. And for those of you watching the replay, please, please, please leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you've been watching. I'd really like that. And yeah, let's try and get on live again. And I might actually get out a one sheet wonder to do with you. And yeah, so goodbye for now. Have a good day.